Hey everyone, John Cole with Suffering Outdoors. I'm going over my complete mobile hunting system for self-filming. First item on the list is my sticks. I am using old Lone Wolf sticks that I cut down to 18 inches. I made a video on it. I have stealth strips on them. I have a cableator, and then I'm using a daisy chain Amsteel rope to attach them to a tree. Super efficient, super quick, and super lightweight. I'm running 3 sticks, and then I use a aider ladder that I put on the bottom stick for my initial first steps. As high as I can go. Get the rope ladder on, and then my first move, I'm covering a lot of territory, and then from there, I'm climbing up 2 additional sticks to my platform for my saddle hunting. As far as my saddle setup goes, I'm using a CRUZR XC. It is a mesh panel saddle, so it's super comfortable. I did a video on this just over the winter time with my thoughts on it and how comfortable it is, so you can check out that video. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. For my platform, I am using Tether's Predator platform. Lightweight, can be adjustable, so does what I need it to do, and it works really well. Generally, when I get to this point, I'm self-filming, I'm up in my tree, have my tether on, attached securely. I climb up with my backpack on my back, and then I have this rope I made. It's actually a hammock rope, and I'm going to attach this to my backpack. From there, I'm accessing all my self-filming goodies. Lone Wolf pocket arm, super lightweight. I'll show you my other arm here in a minute that I was using when I first started self-filming. This cut down the weight pretty substantially from that. You don't get as smooth a footage, it bounces a little bit, but that's a trade-off you got to take when you're hunting public ground. I always put this on my right side when I'm saddle hunting. My hope when I set up is that the animals are going to come from my strong side this way, so I can have the camera right up against the tree, film the animal, take the shot. So this always goes on my right side. As far as the height, I want it probably about my waist height. So you can see the screen down below you. It's easy to move it and you're not reaching up above you. And then you can also, if need be, get your bow over top of the arm to take a shot. So this is super important when taking a camera or picking a camera to self-film. You want one that you can use a remote for. It's really difficult to find record buttons, zoom in, zoom out. You want this on your tripod head, right in front of the camera, so you can do all your controls, zoom in, zoom out, record, turn record off, and then turn the camera on and off. So that is super helpful. In my backpack, I of course have my knee pads. I'm not gonna put those on. Super cheap, got them off of Amazon, work really well. I have a Manfrotto bee-free head, really lightweight, small head. I'm gonna put that on. And when I'm going into the woods, this would already be on. I have not been hunting or filming, so I took this off to use on my tripod. But when I'm pulling this out of my backpack, the head is already on. And then I have the remote goes right there. This always goes to the bottom of my pack. It's a small camera bag. In my camera, extra batteries live. Again, I'm not generally going to pull that out when I'm hunting. That stays in the bag. I just reach all the way down the bottom, pull the camera out. I've never dropped my camera out of the tree. Hold on to it with your life. Put that on, attach it tight. One of the flaws with the pocket arm is once you get out to a certain level with a heavier camera, it wants to fall down. So you have to understand where the limitations are, where the trade-offs are when you're self-filming, what angles you can get for the deer, and that all has to be taken into consideration when planning the shot, when the animal's coming in. The worst thing, and it's happened to me, is you have the deer coming in this way, you move the camera all the way around, and it's flopping off the tree, making noise, spooking the animal, and then you're not getting the footage. So that's definitely some of the downfalls to self-filming. Once my camera's set up, I'm just throwing my backpack out of the way. And then this is, again, camera arm about waist height. And then when have a deer coming in, of course this is going to be open, I'll have my bow in my left hand. I can run, move the camera, and then set up and shoot. Or if it's coming over the other side, adjust the camera over the other side and shoot that way. That's actually probably more comfortable for me. I shot my buck from this side of the tree, shot my bear from this side of the tree. It was a little bit more challenging, and I had this low enough that I was able to get my bow over top of the camera arm and shoot. So that's, again, it's going to be in your way. You have to learn to deal with it and adjust to it, and make sure you're not banging the camera arm or put some sort of silencing tape on it with your bow and spooking the animal just before the shot. I also run, and this is unique, I don't see many guys do this, I run a GoPro on my head, but not on the front of my head. I have an attachment where I run it off to the side. And the benefit to that is when you're at full draw, if it's on the center of your head, your bow is going to be blocking the animal. If you put it just off to the side a little bit, that's just enough away and just enough of an angle that you can see around your bow and see the animal when you go to shoot it. Because as soon as you shoot, that footage is gone. You can't see the animal getting hit. You can't see the animal running away. You have that very aggressive bump from the shot. You generally wiggle or move your hand after the shot, and then that footage is just not great. So either A, have your second angle camera attached around your tether, pointing hopefully in the direction that the deer is coming, or on your head so that you can see everything. The other trick, you can get camera angles after the kill if you keep your head about you and think. So a lot of guys will say, well, I want a second angle camera on my head, pointing on me so I can see myself pulling back, drawing back on the animal, and then shooting it or whatever. And it's like, well, nobody's gonna know you only are running 2 cameras. Get your kill shot, get your emotion shot afterwards, get excited, take your second angle camera, put it on your tether, point it at you, pretend the deer's coming in, draw back, and then there's that shot of you pulling your bow back. You don't need 3 cameras up in the tree. Keep it simple. So I get asked a lot, what camera should I use? And it generally is, I don't want to spend a ton of money, like $300, $400, $500. It's really tough to get into this game, buy quality equipment for that price level. Either A, you need to think about spending quite a bit more money than that, or just understand you're not going to be able to have the capabilities to produce a high quality video with a $300 or $400 camera. Guys may disagree with me, but I'm wanting something that can shoot in 4K, has relatively good stabilization. If you have something that comes with a better microphone on it, that really helps. Otherwise, you're spending a couple $100 for a decent microphone. So what you want to look for, and 2 of the really popular models right now are the Canon G50, which is 4K, or the Sony AX53 is what I use. I love Sony's products. I've used them for a long period of time. They allow for the remote attachments. This camera does shoot in 4K, and there's jacks for microphones. The mic on it is really good. I am not using a microphone just to save down on time and cut back on the frustrations in the tree stand, but not using microphones when I'm deer hunting from the stand. Really good image quality. Struggles a little bit in low light, but for just a regular video camera that's easy to use for someone who's starting, great entry point camera for self-filming, and you can get really good quality videos with either this or the Canon G50. The other question I get asked a lot is, what about a computer for editing video? If you're shooting in 4K, you're making longer videos, you need a lot of computing power to run these editing programs. So again, you're not gonna be able to buy a $300 or $400 cheap laptop, expect to be able to edit this video. You're gonna need to spend $7, $8, maybe even $1,000 or more dollars, good video editing computer to edit your videos after you shoot them. The editing program I use is Sony Vegas. Kind of the industry standard in videography is Adobe Premiere. A lot of guys use that. It's a little bit more expensive. You pay like a monthly subscription for it, and I'm all about just buying it and having it. So I have Vegas, I believe it's 19 that I use for editing my videos. I learned on it. It's probably a little easier to use than Adobe Premiere. May end up switching to Adobe Premiere soon, just because that's what the industry uses, and if I want to go any further than where I'm at now, I need to get familiar with what the industry is using and be proficient with it. But just starting out, you can cheap up a little bit on the editing software, maybe find a free program, and then eventually switch into something with more capabilities. If you are self-filming, setting up your tree stands every time, you need to carry not only that equipment, but you also need to carry your camera equipment, and that adds weight to the whole system. So I kind of showed you pulling my camera gear out of the backpack. This is a Spica Drover 40 liter. What I like about this is I can put my sticks in my platform on the front of this. There's a meat shelf, so if I kill an animal with all my gear, maybe I can bring out a hind quarter or two and all my gear and then come back and pack out the rest. Plenty of room for all my camera gear, some warmer clothes in here, and some food, indoor bottle of water or drink. And it's not a super expensive pack. I do have a full review on this if you want to check it out in a separate video. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me the whole time. I know your time is valuable. Anytime you're watching one of my videos, it is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks, and have a great day.